Wow, I haven't had such an impact for a group to go so quiet since I taught at high schools many years ago. So well done. Okay, welcome everyone. I would like to firstly welcome everyone to the forum today, and I must say Cancer Australia is delighted to welcome you to the National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Cancer Forum. My name is Gail Garvey and I'll be your MC for today. I work at the Menzies School of Health Research, and like everyone in this room, I can say that I'm most passionate about improving outcomes for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but particularly those with cancer, and caring for their families and their communities. I'd also like to acknowledge, as protocol, the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which we're holding the forum today. I'd like to pay my respects to elders both past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are present in the room today and the journeys in which you've come from to be here and share with us over the next couple of days. So on that note, I think we'll get started, and I'll invite Aunty Currie to do our official welcome to country. And Aunty Currie is from southeast Queensland. She's an elder and represents the Bundjalung and Mulungy? No? Okay. So perhaps I think it's best we get you to do that side of things, okay? So without further ado, let's invite Aunty Currie up to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Ladies and gentlemen, all the travellers, welcome to beautiful Queensland. It was beautiful on Saturday. Anyhow, Bobo Budjuri, Jinawala Nirama, Wulu Wulu Walu, means good morning to many. I hope you are all well. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge our past elders, as they were the ones that shared their stories with us. Respect to our present elders, as they hold the knowledge and the wisdom and the stories to share. Anyulang Nahabala tribe. My skin, it belongs to two tribes, the Jaguar, across the river. My great-grandfather was born 1841. And the Butchulla, Fraser Island, my great-grandmother on my mother's side. It is always our custom and culture when we walk and talk and gather to show our respect to the traditional owners. I show my respect to the Turrbals, the side of the Brisbane River, and the Jaguar across the river, who lived and took care of this part of Mother Earth for many, many thousands of years. Aboriginal culture, it is the oldest living culture in the world. And our people, we give praise to our Creator, who placed us in this beautiful land, which was named Australia. Gave them their culture. That culture, it has been taught, handed down from generation to generation for over 60,000 years. In our spiritual ceremonies, our art, music and dreamtime stories. Aboriginal culture, it is the only culture that grows both ways, back into the past and forward to the present. I'm very proud to stand here today with this council, Aboriginal National Council, Cancer. I think cancer affects nearly all of us. I have lost two brothers, a sister and a daughter. I've found when you're nursing a cancer patient in the hospital, I'm looking at 15 years ago when I lost my daughter, we didn't have any support. Now I notice that we are getting support in Indigenous and Torres Strait Island aids in the wards. But that was a big part 15 years ago, not having Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island support in the hospitals. And we had no help. So I'm glad having these conferences, it's improving, helping the hospitals with these cancer patients and families. So, Ning Yanabara, I will go now, and you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Aunt, for that warm welcome, and I'll say a few more words in a moment. But we do have a little token of appreciation for you for your warm welcome today. But most importantly, Aunt has a birthday today. And she shared a little story with me, thought she'd never get to this age, which I'm not going to divulge, but you may if you wish. But she never thought that she would get to this age that she is today. And I think we celebrate that. We celebrate that our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are now living longer than what we have. And we celebrate the journeys in which we've travelled and the learnings that we've got to take us forward, like you've said in your welcome. So thank you very much, and happy birthday. Aunt said it was okay to tell you she's reached a milestone of 70 years young today. And I think just in Aunt's welcome, we have come a long way, and I'm very excited. I know Cancer Australia is very excited because we have around 160 people coming together in this forum to talk about cancer and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We wouldn't have been able to do that in the past. We probably wouldn't have been able to do it, 10 years ago. We may have been able to have a conversation with some people about 5 years ago, but I think now is timely. Now people are able to share their stories, and we thank you for sharing your story this morning with us, Aunt. Cancer is something that's affected many of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and our communities, as it has the wider community. So I think now's a good time to look at the future, learn from the lessons we have, but let's act and let's do something about it. So let's hope these next 2 days is an opportunity for us to share our stories, to continue to grow and learn, and perhaps pave the way for new directions. I'd like to now officially do the official welcome on behalf of the Assistant Minister for Health, Fiona Nash. Unfortunately, she was unable to be with us today, but we're very fortunate that she's provided a welcome message to the forum, and I'm just going to take a few moments to read that out to you now, and hopefully I will do it justice. I'll put my most official voice on if that's possible. Okay. So this is the welcome message from Assistant Minister for Health, Fiona Nash. Thank you for the opportunity to provide a welcome message to open Cancer Australia's National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Cancer Forum. I'm sorry that I can't be with you in person today. Cancer is estimated to be the largest burden of disease in Australia, and the Australian Government is committed to fighting it through support for prevention, early detection, treatment and care. Our National Cancer Agency, Cancer Australia, provides leadership and coordinates control efforts across all cancer types. It is also a specific focus on population groups who experience poorer cancer outcomes, including Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and rightly so. Each day, on average, around 2 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians are diagnosed with cancer. Indigenous Australians have a higher rate of cancer diagnosis and are 50% more likely to die from cancer than non-Indigenous Australians. Cancer Australia works to interpret and translate cancer research and data to identify gaps and provide expert information and advice on cancer control to health professionals and the community. It works to minimise the burden of cancer through a collaborative model that fosters engagement across the health system. Cancer Australia also brings together health professionals working with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities to build capacity and provide evidence-based information and support for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The theme for this forum is working together on cancer, in recognition of the importance of the government working with Indigenous communities to improve cancer outcomes. This forum will provide Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander health workers with tools and information to support people in communities with a focus on breast and lung cancer, the most common cancers in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Indigenous Australians are twice as likely to develop lung cancers as non-Indigenous Australians. Indigenous people diagnosed with lung cancer have only a 7% chance of survival compared to 11% for the rest of the Australian population. The link between smoking and lung cancer is well known. All levels of government, through the Council of Australian Governments, are committed to halving the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander adult smoking rate by 2018. I recently launched a new 4.6 million phase of the National Tobacco Campaign, which includes the well-known Break the Chain television commercial. This is a testimonial-style ad featuring a mother talking about her family's history with smoking disease. The anti-smoking campaign is designed to work in parallel with other initiatives, including exercise increases, plain packaging of tobacco products, and providing support for smokers to quit. The government also subsidised some nicotine patches and other smoking cessation therapies through the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme. Improving knowledge of cancer risk factors and the importance of early detection and referral for treatment are also critical in closing the gap. While Indigenous women diagnosed with breast cancer continue to experience poorer outcomes than non-Indigenous women since the inception of the Breast Screen Australia program in 1991, nationally there has been a reduction of approximately 36.5% in mortality in women aged between 50 and 69 years. The Australian Government is currently negotiating with states and territories to expand Breast Screen Australia's target age range to women 50 to 74 years. Bowel cancer is also a priority issue for Australia. Screening for bowel cancer is easy, effective, and it can be completed in the privacy of your own home. If detected early, bowel cancer can be easily treated and cured. This is why the Australian Government is fast-tracking biennial screening under our National Bowel Cancer Screening Program. The recent budget saw the government invest $95.9 million so that from the year 2020, all Australians aged 50 to 74 years will be offered a free screening service every 2 years. Health workers are in an ideal position to promote cancer screening, as well as other positive health behaviours that focus on prevention and early detection in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. I'm also pleased today to launch Cancer Australia's new Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander artwork. And I'll just break from protocol for one moment and point over here, and you have it on your lanyards, which symbolises their commitment to working in partnership with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. This artwork, Our Journeys, was developed by Dreamtime Public Relations with input from Indigenous people around the country. It represents the journeys of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people with cancer and the diversity of culture, country and experience. I hope this artwork becomes a recognisable identity for Cancer Australia's important and ongoing Indigenous initiatives and resources. Thank you once again for the opportunity to welcome you all to this forum. Thank you also for your ongoing commitment to help reduce the impact of cancer and improve the well-being of those diagnosed with cancer and their families. Closing the gap in Indigenous health outcomes requires a whole-of-community response, and forums such as this, hosted by Cancer Australia, are a great way to bring together health professionals working in Indigenous community and to build our national capacity in the ongoing fight against cancer. Thank you. I'd now like to take a moment for you to ensure that you have your program, and it should be in your delicate bags. We also will just go through some logistic issues. So Cancer Australia staff, if I could have a couple of Cancer Australia staff just stand up, you'll notice they're in these identifiable t-shirts, black t-shirts with the logo on the front, okay? If I could also ask you to hold any questions that you have at the end of each of the sessions. We will have various times and opportunities for you to ask questions at the end of the presentations. You'll notice when you came into the room that there was a pink evaluation form on your chair. So please don't put that in your bag and file it away. What I'd like you to do is, we're trying a new process here where we're actually going to ask you to write down key messages that you take away from each of the sessions. So today I'll give you a brief opportunity to reflect on the key messages from the sessions that we have just had, and then you can write down some notes, and we'll do that throughout the day. At the end of the day, most importantly, there will be a box in the foyer area where your registration, at the registration desk, for you to put your evaluation forms in for today. Tomorrow, you'll get a new form. It'll be blue. Okay, I'd also like to bring your attention to page 3 of the program, please. And as today we're talking about sensitive issues, we're talking about cancer and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We have a mix of people in the room. So it's very important to us and to you to ensure that we're able to provide support if required. So on page 3, you'll note that counselling support is available through the Cancer Council Queensland help line. The number is there, and if you don't have a phone, we can assist you with that. It's open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We also have Cancer Council Queensland is aware of this forum today, and we thank Carmel McNamara for assisting us in setting that up. We also have a chill out zone, which is the area where we have all of the stands and the tea and coffee, and feel free to take some time out and go and sit there if you need throughout the day, and have a yarn with each other, and let's support each other. Let's make it very positive and supportive and encouraging. I'd now like to also, if you haven't already discovered them, if you go directly outside of the room, sorry men, I know where the ladies' toilets are. You go straight ahead to the left. I'm assuming the men's is near there, or go to the right maybe. No, it's that way. Okay, right. I think ask another male, but it's that direction. Okay. Emergency exits, okay, if we hear alarm bells or water or anything that starts happening here, we just leave everything here and we walk out via the 2 exits out the back, and we follow the hotel staff's directions if that was the case. Food is available again in that chill out area during the session breaks, and tea and coffee is there at all times. We do have a social media and Twitter happening, and we encourage those of you who are tweet friendly to actually get on and tweet about the forum and the sessions that you have. It's hashtag #ATSI So that's hashtag ATSI, capital ATSI, Cancer Forum, all lowercase, but I'm not sure whether it really matters. You'll find it there. So on that note, I also want you to put, if you're right-handed, put your right hand up in the air. If you're left-handed, put your left hand up in the air. Just everyone, just a bit of stretching. Now I'd like to use your hand, stretch and grab your mobile phone out of your bag or wherever it is. Ensure that it's turned to silent or off, please, so that we don't disturb the participants. So if you could take a moment to do that now, that would be great. Okay, so now I think let's get on with the program.